Many small businesses underestimate what their overhead costs are, and therefore they undercharge. And this means they don't make as much profit as they could. Knowing your numbers, and especially your break-even point, can avoid this costly mistake and put more money back in your pocket. Knowing and measuring your numbers is crucial for every small business to grow in a profitable way. And the break-even point is one of the most important numbers that you should know. So let's begin by having a look at what the break-even point is and how you can go about calculating it. So the break-even point can be explained as saying all of your costs are covered, but you have not made any profit yet. So you're essentially at zero. So to understand this better, let's imagine for a second that you're about to open a small business, a restaurant. Now, before you've even opened the doors, you need to find a property and rent it. You need to decorate it, you need to put some equipment in, maybe a fancy till system. You probably also need to do some marketing as well to let people know that you're opening. And you incur all of these costs regardless of how many people walk through your door and eat your food. So these costs do not change regardless of the amount of sales that you do, and they're therefore referred to as fixed costs or overhead costs. And as you can imagine, opening a restaurant can be quite expensive to start, so let's say your fixed costs add up to £50,000. Now, once you're ready to open the doors and invite customers in, you need some food and some drinks to sell. And exactly how much product you need to buy varies depending on how many customers you're expecting to visit your restaurant. Therefore, we refer to these as variable costs because there is a direct link between the amount of sales that you make, how many customers come into your business, and how much you need to spend on buying these ingredients. So let's imagine that the average spend per head of everybody coming into your restaurant is £45, and it costs you approximately £20 in variable costs. So the food and drink that you're serving them costs you £20 and they spend £45 with you. That means that you're making a gross profit per customer of £25. And to work out the break-even point, we need to know how many lots of those £25 gross profit do we need to make, or how many customers do we need to come into your business before we've covered our fixed costs of £50,000. So I've kept the numbers quite simple. We can do £50,000, divide it by 25. And we can see that we need to generate 2,000 customers into our restaurant in order to just break even and pay off all of our fixed costs. And once all of those fixed costs are paid off, everything else is profit. And why does the break-even point matter? Well, for every small business, it's really important when you're starting out to understand where that point will be when you will first make profit. Not only do you need to make sure that you can survive until that point without any income, but also it's a good indication as to whether or not you've got a viable business plan. If it's going to take you 2, 3, 4 years to reach that break-even point, there's much more risk associated with it than if you would get there in just a few months. Secondly, one of my favourite business sayings is that gets measured gets done. So measuring how you're performing against your break-even is a really good motivation for reaching that point as quickly as possible. If you're not measuring it, you don't know whether what you're doing is working and you're not giving yourself any feedback. And finally, if you're setting up any business, never, ever, ever give away freebies to friends and families or offer discounts until you have hit that break-even point. So if you've got any questions about how to calculate the break-even point for your business, pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.